Hello. Yeah, so I've seen you talk a lot about objective morality, and my big question is, it feels like you can make good statements and bad statements without referencing some kind of moral book. So I can say something is good, right? I had a good day today, and it doesn't really feel like I need to reference religion for that. So can you explain to me why you think we need to have some kind of absolute standard for morality?
Excellent question. It's really good. If you say you have a good day, are you describing the experience you had, or was it morally a good day?
So yeah, it would be a good day. So I can narrow it down more, I guess. Or I can ask, I guess, a better question. So if I don't have religion, right? Let's say I am an atheist or something, and I were to go up to, I find two books. One's the Quran, and then one is the Bible. And I read both of them, and then I have a feeling of preference towards one or the other. That makes me feel like morality probably isn't objective because I read two moral codes. I didn't have one before, and then I derived one after reading it.
But one is true.
Well, yeah, obviously if you go in with the presupposition that one is true. But
so let's play this out. Not sorry to interrupt. If I'm on an island, and let's just demystify part of this, and there's the Bible, and then there's Lord of the Rings, and I end up believing in one of those, which is true?
The old saying, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything, seems to apply here. When there is a lack of morals, evil fills the empty vessel. Proverbs 12 verse 15, the way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he who heeds counsel is wise.
Well, what's true is just what corresponds with reality. We're talking about...
I agree. So which one has evidence and when applied in the natural world actually shows a flourishing people in society and a way to live? Because you would agree, at least out of 8 out of 10 of the 10 commandments, they're pretty good rules for life, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Of course, yes.
No, but the thing that I'm talking about doesn't have to do with whether or not Christianity is good or bad or whether I agree with most of... Yeah, it's just regarding one can be true, but even if one is true, it doesn't really feel like I'm influenced in terms of what I feel is good or bad, because obviously, there are people who are Muslim who have read, the Bible and still are more persuaded by Islam.
No, of course. I mean, you could be persuaded by anything, right? That doesn't... I believe that there is a transcendent way of living. I call that the Bible, right? And I believe it's the perfect catalog from creation to the end of the world. You don't have to agree with that. I'm talking strictly from a moral sense. So let's just ask a separate question, which is, do you think people are naturally, outside of, religious teaching, good or not so good? The nature of humanity.
The nature... I wouldn't be comfortable making a statement about it.
Fair enough, and I appreciate that. So we believe, as Christians or those in the space, human beings are pretty awful, okay? That we're broken, that we're sinful, that we fall short of the glory of God, and that we need to teach people how to be good. A common left-wing belief is that human beings are actually awesome, and they're terrific, and the reason why things are not so good is because of capitalism or the patriarchy or feminism or whatever. So you're asking a question of, why do we need objective morality? Well,
the college kid says you can derive truth from a moral claim, which made him feel wise and probably sounds profound to most listeners, and the college kid himself, until you threaten to steal his property or freedom, or even his life, for making such a statement, then suddenly he will reverse his assertion and understand the truth of moral claims very easily.
Or what specifically?
Yeah, so not necessarily why we need objective morality, but you seem to be, because obviously I don't believe that it's a thing, but you seem to make the claim that
do you believe that absolutely?
No.
Okay, good. But you're consistent.
Yeah, the big thing is for me, even if I have a God, there is no thing telling me it's just the is-ought problem, right? That's my big contention, right? How am I ever going to derive a claim about what I should do from only statements about the nature of being?
Got it. So you would believe murder's wrong?
Yeah.
Why do you believe that?
Because in its definition, it says it's wrong, right? It's wrong killing of somebody, or at least that's my understanding of it.
Okay, so I mean, so for example, you go to an African village, happens all the time. They leave a full-born baby by the fire. They don't want it. They discard it. Happens tons of times. Any missionary will tell you that. They just discard babies. Why? They don't believe it's wrong. It's just in their code and custom. No one feels bad about it. Just discard kids you don't want. Are they wrong?
For me, yeah, they're wrong. Yeah. It's a bullet I do have to bite from my worldview.
Hold on. Are they objectively wrong? Is it objective?
No. Because I don't believe in objective morality. So that can apply to any statement.
So it's not objectively wrong to leave a full-born baby by the fire and just say, you're on your own, have a nice life.
Well, yeah, I'm calling into question objective morality. So I obviously have to bite
I know.
that
I'm
bullet.
just trying to make you hear back how insane what you are saying.
Being void of a moral compass and not being willing to able to determine right from wrong leads to social chaos. Every time these kids step up to the mic, they have their phones at the ready. Are these new generations even capable of using their own brains, or do they just rely on what's written on the screen?
Well, you're making a claim about the objectivity of it. You're not making a claim about whether it's wrong. Obviously, I think it's wrong.
Let's get more graphic. So you put 1,000 Jews in a gas chamber, and the Nazis thought what they were doing was good, and they pressed the button. Were they right or were they wrong in gassing millions of Jews?
Objectively, you can't, when you say, is it objectively wrong? Hold on, wait. If you say it's objectively wrong, you're implying that you can derive a truth value from it. And I don't think you can. So I don't think that you can make a true statement regarding whether something's good or bad.
Got it. So just to be clear, the Nazis could have been right in their actions, in your view.
That implies that right is an actual thing. I don't believe you can determine a truth value from a moral claim.
The problem with prosperity sometimes is that we get too comfortable living in hypotheticals. Had you experienced any hardship or was even a fly, on the wall, in some societies and regions, especially during the World War II, he would not be probably, making the same claims, I think somehow, people are getting too soft as a society, and that's just crazy, really. It's really crazy.
So the Nazis were not objectively evil.
Yeah, I've said that 4 times. You can't derive objective moral statements from things. I'm not saying they're not wrong. They are wrong. Oh.
Well, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
No, I just want to make sure this is important, because what you are saying, and you're saying it very clearly, is that we look at the Holocaust and it's just a matter of opinion.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem of being an atheist. You have to bite the bullet.
I respect your intellectual clarity, and I will say...
And obviously, for clarity, I obviously think the Holocaust is wrong. So if anyone's questioning about that,
it's just your opinion. I believe that it's objectively wrong, no matter who you are or where you come from, because it transcends opinion. Do you think, last question, I appreciate your clarity on this, do you see how your view could result in a lot of dead people?
Well, I don't think my view is really I'm not making a claim that we should behave in a way.
No, you're making claims.
Well, I am making claims, yeah, but I'm not making a claim that we should behave in a certain way or
Somebody said, hard times create strong men. Strong men create easy times. And the easy times create weak men. And weak men create hard times. And the cycle is endless. The problem with this kid is that he has been taught that the highest achievement in life is not to be good, but to be intellectually impenetrable.
That we ought to, not have Christianity or some kind of moral
I'm not saying
code.
that, but let me play this out, and I think you'll understand.
No, I understand, because you're going to say, well, there's all these bad things that could happen if people follow me.
Or that did happen. No, I'm not following you. If your view becomes a view of a country, and, for example, putting 1,000 Jews in a gas chamber is not deemed as objectively wrong, transcendent above anyone's opinion, then all of a sudden, what would prevent that evil thing from occurring and nobody questioning it?
Sure. So my main idea, I guess, with the worldview is I'm not making a claim, again, about how things should be. I'm making a claim that this is how things are. So within my, worldview, This is all fine. You can have people agreeing that things are wrong. Generally, I think most people's moral intuitions will lead them to thinking that things like murder is wrong and stealing is wrong because it makes you feel bad, right?
No, well,
if I see somebody get hurt, that makes me feel bad. If you see somebody die,
course,
that makes you
totally.
feel bad.
Yeah, the SS guards didn't feel bad when they killed Jews, and that's okay. But do you see where this might unravel into mass murder and societal?
The root problem is intersectionality. It replaces moral decision making with the oppression matrix. And these kids are certain, that the reductive system they learned in school is 100% correct. That if you identify who has the least power in any scenario, then you know who is good and who is bad. No other work is needed. But is that the truth?
Chaos.
Yeah, that happens in the real world. I'm making a description about the way people derive their morals. I'm not saying how we should or shouldn't. I'm saying this is how you derive your morals. If you have two books there, the trueness or correspondence with reality has anything to do with your preference towards, one moral system or another.
Hold on. Or maybe the true one says, don't gas the Jews.
That would be, that would be obviously,
because God will judge you harshly.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe just hear me out. Maybe the true one says that life is good and that there is a creator who loves you.
But
maybe,
now what you're doing
maybe.
is you're just making claims about what you think. Obviously it would be awesome if I had a moral code that everyone had to follow that agreed with
I know,
things
if
that
only
I said.
a book existed.
Yeah, I know, if only. But
these students can't even organize the ideas correctly. They only come up to the podium to ask questions, to confront Charlie, like dogs, some of them, marking the park's leader territory to claim sort of a little victory, even if they look like, it's like fools. I don't like saying this because, again, I'm not attacking this gentleman. No. I'm not doing so. But I'm just making a reaction video.
If only there was this amazing book.
Yeah, but my point is that
you're being super clear. I appreciate it.
Okay, yeah.
No, and you're the first person ever, to your credit, to answer the atheist Nazi question clearly, which is that an atheist cannot objectively say that the Holocaust is wrong.
I'm arguing against objective, the idea that...
No, you're being... Usually there's some withering there. You went right into there.
Well, I can't go in here and not bite the bullets of what my argument implies.
We have clarity but not agreement. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Arguing that morality is subjective because two different doctrines on morality disagree, I think is kind of stupid, really. If I read two treatments of mathematics, one of which is true, and one of them say is wrong, that doesn't mean mathematics is subjective, folks. It only means someone is right and someone is wrong. Trying so hard not to be judgmental and be open-minded, they won't make a common sense decision, or they won't make a decision based on common sense. When faced with a situation, I don't think, they won't decide if the situation is right or wrong, but probably will ask what is right and what is wrong. What I'm saying is, this kid, I think he embodies the difference between men of action versus men of thought. Remember, scripture is literally being fulfilled, probably right before our eyes. Those whose minds the God of this age has blinded, who do not believe, lest the light of the gospel of the glory of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine on them. 2 Corinthians 4, verse 4. I think as a student, one should never speak from a position of ignorance, unless you were born born unknowing. However, a good start is to question, what is it that makes a good character? What is the difference between ethics, morals, and things that are of the opposite? How many times did he say a statement like, I feel, trying to always getting away from the accountability of sin. The question should be, do you have a conscience? If you do something, and it makes you feel good or feel better about something, that's pretty much what a conscience is, right? And that's what happened to human civilization when Adam ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And remember, 2 Timothy 2 verse 7, it says, ever learning and never coming to the knowledge of truth. Ever learning. These people are eager to acquire knowledge and explore ideas. This might include philosophical, scientific, or even religious pursuits. They may even appear intellectual or even enlightened. However, their learning is superficial or misguided, focused on worldly or self-centered concerns rather than on knowing God or pursuing genuine wisdom. Never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. The truth here refers to God's ultimate truth revealed in Jesus Christ, as well as the teachings of Scripture. Despite their constant learning, they are spiritually blind or resistant to the transformative power of God's truth. Their pursuit of knowledge is fruitless because they lack faith, humility, or openness to the gospel.
Absolutely.
As humanity, we are encouraged to seek not just knowledge, but wisdom. Truth that aligns with God's word, a truth meaningful pursuit of knowledge leads to transformation through Jesus Christ, rather than mere accumulation of facts. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, for today. Tell me also what you think. I want to hear your views on this one. And my greatest desire is that someday this young gentleman will come to identify the truth for himself and lead a peaceable life. Thank you once again. It's bye-bye for now.